All right, stilltalking.com, episode 20, season 3. Todd, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Rob. How about you?
Man, can't complain, man. It's good Friday. I've been got over the loss. I'm looking for a good game coming up. Monday night, we usually play good at night, right?
Yep. Team normally performs well in prime time. So yeah, expectations are high. Plus, it's a home game. So yeah, they just got to be ready to hit the ground running and get the W, man. You got to have it.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a little business before we get to the game, man. We signed a guy off the street, Kalon Barnes, cornerback, 6 foot, 196, Baylor product. He was a 7th round draft pick for the Carolina Panthers. Spent some time with the Fins last year and played a few games with the Vikings last year. Okay. His claim to fame is he had the second fastest time ever at the combine since they've been using the motion clock.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
I mean, obviously in this game, speed is pretty important. Of course, it depends on what position you're playing, but certainly being a cornerback, speed is necessary. But as you said before, there is a difference between, track or straight ahead speed and football speed. So hopefully I know I haven't seen any tape. Hopefully the tape shows that he's got great, lateral or backup ability, when he's backing up in coverage. So hopefully that'll be a feather in his cap and he can bring something to help the team out.
Well, you're getting a paycheck. You're on the practice squad. So him and I think Luke Barku are the lone 2 cornerbacks on the practice squad right now.
Yeah, Luke came back after getting cut last week.
Yeah. And we got some old guys, so, you never know if the injury bug hit us in the secondary. We'll be calling on those guys pretty soon.
Absolutely. That's what they're there for.
All right. Now, Todd. Let's see, get to the Steelers injuries for the game.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Man, Cam and Deontay, they're going to be out several weeks. Cam just had surgery on his groin.
Correct, yes.
So that's going to be a while. Deontay busted a hammy. That's going to be at least 4-5 weeks before he feel good.
You can speak at least from your personal experience, having played football, maybe how those things go. But, certainly they haven't come out. It's amazing, Rob, how different sports, how they give either little or more detailed information when it comes to injuries. So like when it comes to soccer, most clubs are very specific as to what type of injury. So like they'll put grades on it. Or they'll go into actual great detail as to what the injury is. So like in pro football here in the States, they just go, he pulled his hamstring. Well, there are variations of hamstring pulls. So, they keep people and fans in the dark as to how serious it actually is. Because, if you know anything about physical therapy, you have a sense of how long something will take. If this is the top end grade 3 hamstring pull, you're right. He's easily out 4 or 5, maybe 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think he's out
just
for a while.
Slight tweak, he can easily be back in a couple, maybe 3 weeks.
Have they said, Todd? I thought they said it was pretty bad. They automatically said he's gonna be out about 4 weeks.
Okay, yeah, I never heard a number of weeks attached. I heard weeks, or actually I heard week to week.
Week to week, okay.
I never heard any detailed verbiage that would suggest to me how long they would be out. But yeah, I mean, it's reasonable. We can always shoot high, and if it ends up being less time, it makes us all feel better. Yeah. So I would say I'll go with you and say the 4-week thing, and see how it plays out. But again, being a receiver, being that position, hamstring is extremely important.
Man, tell me about it. Then we got McFarland with a knee. As of Thursday, he did not practice, right? Huh?
That came up out of nowhere.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't see him get hurt during the game.
No, that one really threw me for a loop. I was disappointed when I heard that, because that figures this guy's just rounding into form.
Yeah.
Finding the spot on the team where he can contribute.
Right.
And then he gets injured.
I know.
So
that's jacked up.
It is. Hopefully it is, again, something on the mild side, maybe some kind of a contusion again, and not a slight tear or anything along those lines. Again, they haven't clarified what it is specifically. Right. So hopefully he'll be in a position to contribute on Monday, but if not, at least come back the week after that.
Right. Then we got Chooks. He's out with concussion right now, in concussion protocol. So you never know with that. You don't know when you're gonna come out.
Absolutely. So no guesswork on our part, and he's definitely falls into that next man up mentality.
Yeah, if he doesn't play, you think they'll do like last week, move Dan Moore over to the right and plug in our Jones in the left?
Rob, I've read articles from various Steeler outlets, and the thing that they all said over and over again is that Jones did not practice at right tackle the entire preseason, OTAs, the whole thing. Ever since spring ball started until they came out with the 53-man roster when preseason ended, he had not played any snaps at right tackle. Now, Dan Moore himself said when he got interviewed by one of the staff that he sees Jones as a natural fit on the right side. In fact, he was really forthcoming in saying that Broderick Jones actually looks better at right tackle than he does.
Who said that?
Dan Moore did himself. So maybe that's just his way of bucking to tell coach, hey, man, just leave me where I'm at. Stick the rookie over on the right-hand side. Take a little pressure off of him. He won't have to go up against Myles Garrett, every snap. So be very curious to see what the fallout is if Chooks is a no-go on Monday, how that's going to work out. But, if it's up to Dan Moore, he's not a coach. He's going to stay on the left side, and he's going to push the rookie over to the right.
Yeah, I think that might be a little bit of I don't want to give you this spot. I want to stay where the money spot at, right?
Exactly.
That's hilarious. All right, real quickly, James Daniels had an ankle, limited in practice Thursday. I think he'll be ready. Pat Freiermuth chest. He was limited, but I think he's going to play. He finished the game when he hurt his chest last week. So I imagine he'll be there. Larry O, same thing with his foot. He hurt his foot during the game, but he kept playing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it was hurt. It was hurt coming in.
Yeah.
He missed basically the entire preseason.
Right. And he played most of the whole game.
But, man, I told you during the game, I thought he played really well. He was
in spots.
Yeah, he was extremely active.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good motor, got some penetration on a few plays. It may not show up statistically on the game sheet, Rob, but honestly, and again, this is maybe speaking to the best of a bad situation, but I thought personally that he was the best D lineman in the game on Sunday, and I'd say a close second, but with obviously less snaps, would be something like a Keanu Benton. Yeah, I thought he played really well. So again, with Cam being out, we know this is going to be filled in by the group. It's not going to be just one person, but we really need Larry O. To gut it out here. Until Cam gets back, we absolutely cannot afford to have another D lineman, especially an experienced D lineman, missing out of the lineup. So,
well, tell you the truth, the D line played pretty good that second half of that game. When I rewatched it, We were getting penetration. We were getting upfield on the quarterback. We wasn't covering people on the back end.
No doubt about that.
Man, I mean, TJ had 3 sacks. We was getting pressure, getting to him, making him move around, but we were not covering guys on the back end. So the D-line in the second half, to me, played halfway decent. We got to fix that this week. We'll talk about the game here in a minute. Let's move on to the game, man, huh?
Let's do it.
Monday night, coming in the Cleveland Browns to did I say Hinesville?
Maybe a little bit. It's okay. What's for you?
Coming into the Aki, baby.
The Aki.
You know how we play on night games, Todd. I expect us to play very well. I expect the way we played last week to come in a lot more hype this week, because I imagine coach has been in their grill and in their ass all week. I'm not playing.
Head coach, positional coaches, yeah, the whole thing. You just can't let something like that, Rob, slip by, because as Tomlin said right after the game, the team failed. It wasn't just a certain play. It wasn't just a certain player. It's top to bottom, from coaching, all the way down through the team itself. They failed at multiple levels and showed, yes, they have made some progress as a unit from last year, but we need to see that on a consistent basis.
Yeah, let's move into offense, Todd. On offense, give me some stuff you're looking for this week. What you want to see, how you think we can move the ball. What you're looking at?
Well, what I'm looking at, Rob, probably the 1A, B, and C is, again, it depends on how the game goes early, obviously, but I want to see a balanced attack, man.
Yeah.
We just cannot. Again, I know circumstances determine your game plan. I know there are games, God forbid, where you got those 15, 20 scripted plays, and all it takes is a turnover early on, and you're already on your heels and thinking about, massaging or changing up the approach a little bit. I want them to come out, have some positive plays early on. Certainly the first drive, the second drive. We have got to establish, like we harped over multiple times last year. Sometimes you have to run the ball even when you're not gaining traction and seeing a lot of success.
Right.
You've got to keep the ball out of the other team's hands. And I can't think of any better way, like the Philadelphia Eagles did last night. I think it's a perfect example that they were determined that they were going to exploit Minnesota's weaknesses and attack their center. Well, that's what I want the Steelers to do. Find the weakness and attack it. And we've just got to establish a run game. And I think other positive aspects will follow, i.e. the pass game from short and intermediate to possible big chunk or splash plays down the road. So to me, that's the most fundamental thing. We need to have a balanced approach. And we, again, need to give the players, Canada needs to give the players an opportunity to succeed.
Yeah.
So that's what stands out to me.
So what do you see on Cleveland defense? Where you see their weakness at?
Rob, I'm going to say, and again, I mean, I haven't gone back and looked at their game from Cincinnati, but certainly what I recollect from last year and signings in the offseason, they still seem to be a little light in the middle of the defense, linebackers. They've got some fairly good speed and coverage, but I think they're a little light in the pants as far as against the run. So I see an opportunity for the Steelers to have some success in the run game.
Running game, yeah.
I really do. I think a guy like a Jaylen Warren could actually have some success in this game. I still think, even though I think they may have lost one or two guys out of their secondary, I still think that is certainly compared to our secondary. I like their secondary a little bit more. But like I said, man, it's all about confidence. It's all about having success early, getting Kenny Pickett comfortable, and keeping his feet solid and not hopping around. And do what he knows that he can do. I mean, it's not like he's never done it. So you just have to bring the confidence that you had coming out of the preseason. You got to bring that into the regular season.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is what we look like those first 15 scripted plays. I think we need a touchdown, one at least in that first 15 plays.
Right.
I don't want to go 3 and out the first drive. I would like to get some points that drive, even if it's just 3. But definitely we can't go 3 and out. I don't want to look like we dysfunction. Matt Canada has to step his game up, man, because his play calling, man, come on. I'm gonna say, I can't say it's not that hard because it's hard, but I mean, really, you in the pros, this is your job. So it shouldn't be that hard to script 15 plays to get a couple of first downs at least. You know, something simple to get your quarterback in a rhythm. That's what I'm looking for. And to me, with Deontay being out, I'm waiting for the KP, the GP Express to come along, baby. This is the time for it. As long as DJ out, GP need to be getting all them balls Deontay get. Man, start feeding him. The boy wants to be great, man. Give him the opportunity to be great. You see what I'm saying, Todd?
I mean, yeah, obviously, especially like you're saying with Deontay being out, yeah, you have got to target a guy like George Pickens, more than 5 or 6 times a game.
Right.
That is definitely not a formula for success. Do I think even the other guys like an Allen Robinson, I do think that guy can make a difference. He showed that, he's still got some foot speed to get open. He does know how to find a way to get open. He may not have, blazing speed, but he's a crafty veteran. And then, even looking further down the line with, I'm sure Gunnar O is going to be an active Rob this week. I would think. Yeah,
they probably bring him up.
With Deontay being out, they also called up Des Fitzpatrick from the practice squad. I could definitely see us spreading, even though Pickens wants his piece of the pie. I could see Pickett really spread the ball around in this game. I could see at least 6 different guys catching balls in this game on Monday. So
yeah. But I need GP to be up around 10 catches this game.
I agree.
And
he has the potential.
And if I'm the coach before the game, I'm telling him that so I can get him hyped and get him ready.
Yeah.
Because when you know the ball is coming to you that much, you're gonna be looking for it. You know what I mean? It's just a different mentality. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a different mentality.
Yeah, you do not want to be mentally. See, to me, especially Rob in that second half, it seemed like, and of course, he was complaining on the sidelines and things of that nature. When you're dealing with a young guy like that, you cannot allow them to mentally check out of the game.
Exactly. Yeah. So, exactly.
Yeah. So.
All right, that's Todd. Let's move on. I guess the defense, right?
Sure.
Man, like I said, the first part of the game last week, everybody looked bad. Second half, we looked a lot better. So, me personally looking for the defense, what I'm gonna be looking for this week is I'm looking for Minka and the secondary to play a lot better. Man, you get ate up like that. It's like we didn't know where we was going.
I think there were some serious communication issues last week.
And I didn't know if that's from We got a new guy back there, Patrick Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Keanu O'Neal and them. See, this why I wanted to keep TE. I know y'all you don't like TE, but hey, TE knew how to communicate and he was always available.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, Rob. I mean, a guy like TE, his experience in the system, I mean, that's always a plus.
Yeah,
when
but
you've got a guy that you're not counting on to jump on, as Tomlin likes to say, jumping onto a moving train like a Desmond King who just came on board, not more than a couple weeks ago. Yeah, you want guys that have been through the paces, they understand the system in and out. But again, as we've discussed many times before, with the parity in the NFL and the cap and basically a 30-year roster turning over every year,
right.
it's getting more difficult to know where to put all your all your little pebbles in the basket. And there were certainly some question marks going into the offseason about the secondary, and then again coming into the regular season. All those questions had not been answered. So yes, we realize there's going to be growing pains involved with bringing new guys on, but you just hope that transition is a lot shorter than you think that it might take. But Pete is a veteran. Keanu O'Neal is a veteran, and I'm confident that they will quote catch on. And like I said during the game last week, to me, it's not like Patrick Peterson played horrible. He was in position. Yes. I mean, you just got to give Purdy that one touchdown in the corner of the end zone. From my perspective, I don't think Patrick Peterson did anything wrong, except obviously he lost inside position with the wide receiver. But my God, man, he was right there to knock it away. And, it was just a split-second thing. And then, of course, he slipped in the end zone. He was with Ayuk before he made that cut. Right. And then he slipped. So, I'm not going to beat up a guy like Pete. He's got some veteran skins, and I think he deserves, a second chance to go out there and show what he can do. And like you said, the bottom line is, these guys are not scrubs. They're pros. They are here for a reason. And I feel strongly, whether the results turn out that way or not, I do think that the execution will be better than it was this past game.
Yeah, we need a full game of what we did late in that game last week. I think we're going to turn it around. My main thing I'm looking at is Minka. I need Minka to have a bigger impact. I've never seen a game that Minka played that he didn't stand out. This was the first game I didn't see him make a play. See what I'm saying?
He spent, again, I haven't looked at the snap count from the game on Sunday, Rob, but it seemed like he spent an inordinate amount of time playing up on the line or playing in like a hybrid linebacker type role than he did playing in his natural spot. Well, now, I don't know.
But my thing, I think one reason I think that might be is because Shanahan's offense is very intricate, and Minka was trying to get everybody in the right place. I think Shanahan's offense had his mind just going, trying to get people in the right place. Because Minka's of the secondary, the quarterback of the secondary.
Absolutely.
So hopefully this week we'll get a bounce back game from him, and the secondary look a lot better. Is it anything that specifically you're looking for from the defense, Todd?
Again, general terms, execution, and I just want to see guys play a little bit more fluid and not so staggered. Again, it seemed like on some plays, guys were hesitating a little bit, or leaning one way a little bit. Instead of letting the play come to them. Hopefully, again, playing a familiar opponent, knowing a little bit more about their schemes, somebody they face regularly. hopefully that familiarity will allow them to be able to play more instinctively. And just going back for a split second to the offense, think about it just now, we are dealing with a new defense for Cleveland this year with Schwartz, Jim Schwartz being the new D coordinator. So I'm sure the guys back on the offensive side, they're going to have to go back and watch some tape from his other spots where he's been a D coordinator. He tends to have a fairly aggressive defense. So it's got me thinking, going back to the offense real quickly, the timing needs to be there, and Pickett needs to get rid of the ball quicker than he did this past game.
Yeah. So back on defense, main thing I think, stop the run and get better secondary play.
I'm with you, man.
Okay, special teams. I'm only looking at one person. I think McFarland, if he plays, he did excellent in the return game, man. Golly.
He did.
Where'd that come from?
He stood out.
Yeah, where'd that come from? Where's that been? We've been needing that.
I mean, he basically, last year was a throwaway year for him. I mean, he might as well
last year
been on the roster.
All his years was throwaways except this year. That's the best I've seen him.
Yeah.
That's the best I've seen him in one game. I was like, man, this is a new dude. Who is he?
You know, we got a short look at him, Rob, last year when we went to the Indy game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure did.
But you're right. Literally, that was his only game last year. Everything else was just a wash.
Yeah.
So, need that aspect. But you're right. Obviously, Tomlin bringing in Brad Wing, ex-Steeler, to come in for I'll call it a tryout. Maybe it really wasn't a tryout.
What position?
Oh, punter. They brought in Brad Wing this past week.
See, that's the person I'm looking at, Chunky P.
Yeah.
Chunky P.
Tomlin was very clear that there was some not above board, but just the opposite, below board contributions on special teams. And without saying his name, it was clear in Tuesday's conference that he was talking about Chunky P. And then he followed that up with not just more words, but with action and bringing Brad Wing in.
Yeah, he specifically said the punting game, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, Rob, I think at least by halftime, but maybe still even into the third quarter, their average beginning of their drives for San Francisco was their own 43-yard line.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's at least 15 yards further than it should be.
But what stands out so bad, Todd, you look at the other punter on the other side, what he's doing in the same game. Yeah. He's consistently flipping the field, outperforming you. You, as a punter, need to flip the field for us.
Yeah, especially playing at home.
Yes. God, man. And I specifically looked up to see where Corliss Waitman was.
Okay.
He's in New England on the practice squad. So if we acquired him, we had to automatically put him in. See what I'm saying?
53, right.
Yeah, so if he was on the street, we can bring him on the practice squad.
Right. Well, you and I have had many discussions off the air, sometimes on the air. Yeah. I personally, again, I truly view, they say, owners, coaches, GMs shouldn't say that players are dispensable, but I'm here as not being in that position to say that Chunky P is clearly dispensable. I would sign Corliss Waitman from New England, put him on the 53, and I would cut Chunky P. I would not hesitate to do that.
Wow. Man. Okay.
He's a punter, for God's sakes, man. They're a dime a dozen. Hell, the guy we cut, Brandon Mann, that we held for a few days after the 53 came out, we technically had two punters on the 53. I'll take Brandon Mann over Chunky P.
Well, the Steelers is a family organization.
Yes.
And we getting our feelings, especially if we draft a guy. We getting our feelings.
Yeah,
and it's so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah.
To say goodbye.
Well,
to yesterday.
Some guys, you know, we said goodbye to Kendrick Green.
Yeah,
hell, he was a third round pick.
Right.
We said, my God, I've already forgotten his name. Left guard Dotson. We sent Dotson on his way. He was a fourth round pick. Hell, Chucky P's a seventh round pick. I mean, that is truly nothing. I would give that guy a boot, say thanks for the memories, and bring Corliss Waitman back.
Yeah.
I would not hesitate at all. That might be the easy. If I was the GM, that might be the easiest decision I would make the entire season.
Yeah. All right, let's get off Chunky P. He got about one more week of doing that, and he gone. I'm gonna tell you that if he do that this game, Coach ain't gonna stand for that, man. We trying to do some things this year. Yeah, we trying to do some. We can't rest on our laurels and give people passes no more. It's time to roll now.
I cannot agree more, Rob. Everybody's got to pull their own weight, and they got to find a way to contribute.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, Todd. We are going to review. Let's see our division games. Ravens at the Bengals this Sunday, man. I'm kind of liking that we playing each other early. Seem like lately it's been a lot of stuff late. We got a lot late too.
Oh, no doubt. I think we got Cincinnati twice in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, but these early games almost seem like must wins for these games, especially the Bengals and us, because we lost.
Yeah. You know, I love my statistics, so I try once a show to throw this out. The national media has been hammering this home on their shows, whether it's ESPN or Fox, both today and yesterday, saying, you know, is this a must-win game for this team? Is this a must-win game for this team? And we're talking about the second week of the season. The reason why they're doing that, other than to hype their own show up, is that if you go back since the modern era began, Rob, I can count on this hand the number of teams that started 0-2 and made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Only one team in the last 5 years has started out 0-2 and made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that was the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't want to be in that group. The percentage of teams that make it, it's 7.8%. That start out 0-2 actually make the playoff.
Yeah. Now we need to get this game this week. Who you got, Ravens or Bengals? They playing in the I can't say Escaloosa no more. The Escalwinner.
You know, Cincinnati is becoming, Rob, like the Steelers, and they're starting out slow. Yeah. And then they're coming on strong in the second half. So I think this is going to be a very close game, but I am going to pick Baltimore in a squeaker by like 3 points. But I think Cincinnati will ratchet it up a notch as the season goes on. But I'm going to go with Baltimore by a field goal in that one. How about yourself?
I'm interested to see how Joe Burrow looks. I think he may be more hurt than they let on.
Well, I mean, that, Robin, think about it. Until probably a few days before that first game, he missed a solid month of practice.
Yeah, but
forget preseason game. He didn't even practice for a solid month. It's hard to just turn it on.
Yeah, but I mean, they played abysmal offense last week. I mean, abysmal. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how he looks. I'm picking the Ravens to win probably by about 6. I think it's gonna be a little bit more than that close. Lamar coming in. Usually Lamar have really good games against the Bengals.
Yes.
They had the Bengals beating the playoffs with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, except
if he don't fumble the ball on the goal line, they take it back. See, they beat the Bengals in Cincy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they
So-
would be.
I think they got Cincy number, kind of like Cleveland. We need to get Cincy number.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
All right, Monday night, us at home. Who you got?
I am. I'm going to put on the Homer cap again, Rob.
Okay.
I'm going full Homer Simpson.
Okay.
So I begrudgingly took the Steelers last week, hoping that if I throw some positive vibes their way, that they would pull through. It did not happen. So I'm begrudgingly going to go with the Steelers again.
Okay.
I'm going to say Pittsburgh 24, Cleveland 20.
24-20.
24-20 Steelers.
How you see the game going down the stretch? You think we coming back to get them, or we up?
Really hard to say, Rob. I'm just going to say it's going to stay close, and we're going to pull ahead on either the last drive or the next to last drive of the game to pull it out. I don't think it's going to be one of those games where we're pretty much ahead all game long. I could see us falling behind early, maybe being off again just a little bit, and then getting into a rhythm as the game goes along.
Yeah. I think we're going to win 27-21.
Okay.
I think Cleveland will have the ball last, and we got defense going to stop them so they don't score and beat us 28-27. So I think TJ come up with something, blast them, sack, fumble, and we get out of that with a win.
Before we step away, Rob, we got to mention, we mentioned our injuries. Now, Cleveland's got some injuries too. They lost their starting right tackle for the year.
Right.
Conklin. Looks like they're going to be playing the rookie from
Against
Ohio
TJ?
State, DeJuan Jones.
Against TJ?
Against TJ.
Man, that's ridiculous. You see what he did last week?
Yes. you know, Rob, they're going to give him some help. I guarantee you they're probably going to play 12-man personnel.
12 personnel, the whole, most of the game.
At least 70 to 80% of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can tell you that is a matchup I will be narrowly focused in on during the game Monday night is that matchup.
Yeah. I agree. All right, Todd, we're going to get the people out of here. Everybody, please like, subscribe, comment, give us some feedback. We love doing the show, man. We'll be back probably Tuesday to give you some feedback about the game and hopefully with a Steelers victory. Right, Todd?
Yes, because as we know, there's no better day than the day after a Steelers victory.
Yes. All right, and without further ado, here we go, Steelers.
Here we go.
Who?